that leads me into this discussion with this ZDogg interview, which is a podcast that he did in 2019 called The Truth About Home Birth with Dr. Duddy, he's a pediatrician. So Dr. Duddy sees a balance of why women choose natural birth, but he just thinks hospital birth is, quote, getting better, unquote. So I would challenge him on just that one statement alone. How do you define getting better? The maternal mortality rate hasn't dropped. The C-section rate has risen 500%. What's his definition of getting better? I don't really know. And the interviewer never really asks him. And he says, when we need the baby out, it's now a safety issue. So he's presuming that the hospital outcomes are just better. Just from listening to him, his endpoint for what should happen with the baby is going to be one of my standard sayings is that all that matters is, quote, the baby in the bassinet. So ZDogg keeps going back to the higher levels of training as being significant, that CNMs and doctors are better trained than CPMs. And it's like, he thinks that the level of training is insignificant, not the quality of the training and what they're designed to take care of. OBs are highly trained and they're crappy at taking care of normal, healthy people.
Right.
So I don't think to equate the level of training with the quality of care is a false argument as well. ZDogg then talks about groups of mothers on Facebook and other groups who want to raise awareness of the poorly trained home birth midwives, as that's an argument against home birth. And I would say to ZDogg, that's not an argument against home birth, that's an argument against poor training. So we need maybe better training, but it's not an argument against home birth because well-trained home birth midwives have really good statistics.
And again, to bring in a different perspective, if we're always talking about birth as needing experts, we're missing the mark. Because birth inherently, most of the time, is designed for the baby to come out with no one else around. That's why I'm a supporter of people making the choice of free birth as well, because it's not necessarily always about the provider. If you want that extra insurance policy, yes, having somebody who's skilled in case there's an emergency is going to help you with that. But birth is not inherently a dangerous thing for a low-risk mom.